So you want to be a teacher? Hmm? What are you, an idiot? No, I'm just kidding. All right. If you want to be a teacher, you need to know what is it that you want to teach and why. You always got to have your why in that. Now, in public schools today, okay, if you're going to teach private or public, where do you want to teach? Okay, and what you want to teach. You got to know that. Now, today, the main places where they need a lot of teachers are in the public schools in most of these inner city places like New York, Philadelphia, Chicago, Detroit, Boston, L.A., Phoenix, Dallas, Texas, like your major metropolitan cities is where they need teachers the most. Now of late, suburban areas do too, but here are the areas where they really need people. Special education. They need people that want to teach ELL students, meaning English language learners, math, science, STEM, which STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But mainly your math and sciences is where they need teachers the most. Okay? Now, in order for you to become a teacher, particularly in public school, for the most part, now private school, they have their own type of agenda. Each private school is different, but in public school, you have to have a bachelor's degree. There's no way around it. Okay? If you didn't go to college, you got to go back to college. Okay? You have to get a bachelor's degree. Now, the two types of areas in general where they have these teacher preparation programs are in elementary education and secondary education. Secondary is usually grades 7 to 12 or 6 to 12. Elementary is either K to 5 or K to 6. K meaning kindergarten. Or correction, pre-K. Pre-K to 5, pre-K to 6. Now, also special education and English language learners. Now, in some programs, special ed is combined with both elementary and secondary. Okay? So that's that. And then English language learners is the same thing. They'll require you to take certain courses. Now, I didn't mean to say masters, but most programs have separate components. Now, if you already have a bachelor's degree, let's say you have a bachelor's degree in biology and you love biology, you know, you'll have to go and get either a post baccalaureate certificate or a master's degree. Okay? You're going to have to go get one of those two. Now, a post baccalaureate, you'll take about a good 30 to 36 credits, okay, in the post baccalaureate's program. Now, one good program you could take, and this is online, is at the Rio Salado College in Tempe, Arizona, which is right outside of Phoenix. And you can do all your coursework and your observation labs and stuff online and work with there. Now, when it comes to your internship, you'll have a student teaching mentor. Now, let me tell you about that. And this is at all the levels. You take the courses, you do the observations. Now, when you're doing student teaching, let's say you may be a long-term sub for 1 year covering for a teacher. You can do your internship in that classroom, perhaps. Now, they also have programs where you become a teacher intern where you have all the rights and privileges of a regular teacher, but and you're teaching in the class, you get paid your salary, you're subject to the same observations and all that, just like a regular teacher, but you're going to school at night. Okay? They have those type programs. Go look them up. Okay? Okay, so you have to go to school. You have to get either your bachelor's, post-baccalaureate, or master's degree in order to get the license. You have to do your observations, and you also have to take your test. Now, in certain states like Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, or Ohio, and let's see, I think Virginia, you have to take the praxis test. Now, let's say if you're a biology major, you got a bachelor's degree in it, you're passionate about biology, you like science, okay? I would recommend you take the content knowledge test of praxis, because there's two praxises. Okay, praxis 1, which comes, I think they call it PAPA now, because 10 years ago when I took it, you had reading, writing, and arithmetic, and I think it's still the same. Now, some places may waive it if you have certain credentials, but look them up by the state. Go to the State Department of Education's website in whatever state you're in, okay? But you take those 3 tests, real easy. Now, if you feel like you're not comfortable with that, take a class at a community college, and they'll teach you how to pass the praxis test. Now, that's part 1. Part 2 is content knowledge. And if you've majored in it, you have a bachelor's degree in biology, let's say, or science, any of the sciences, just take the test. You're going to pass it. And if let's say you're a math major or English major, just take the test. And I'm guaranteeing you're going to pass it. You're going to pass it because you know the information. Now, speaking of English, most places, particularly in the suburbs, do not have English openings. If you want to teach English bad enough, you're going to have to go in either the inner city or a rural community, but most likely the inner city Title I based schools. Okay, now some suburban places may have that, but like I said, you're going to need, they need math teachers, science, special education, with a content, such as math or English, and English language learners. That's what you're going to need. Now, social studies, the same thing. Some of your minor subjects, such as gym, home economics, family and consumer sciences, some places may take you, but others won't. There's computers, business, all those. Now, I know in the state of Pennsylvania, or art, if you want to be an art teacher or a gym teacher or a business computer science teacher, you have to take the test for that, the content test, but you also have to take fundamental subjects. Okay? You have to do that as well. So you have to take 2 tests, or 3 in that case. Praxis 1, the reading, writing, and arithmetic, your content knowledge, and fundamental subjects. Now, particularly in Pennsylvania, if you want to be a middle school math teacher, let's say if you want to be a middle school math teacher, you have to take not only Praxis 1, the reading, writing, arithmetic. Praxis 2, you have to take concentrated math. You have to also take math and science 4 to 8, both 4 to 8. And you have to also take another test, which is a professional test. I forget the name of it. Professional learning and teaching, because they just want to see what your pedagogy, and that's after you finish the program at whatever school you're at. Now, say if they hire you on an emergency basis, like I said, you can do your internship in the classroom, okay? You can, while you're taking the classes, okay, in the evenings, all right? You can do that as a sub. Now, another thing to gain personal experience, if you want, become a substitute teacher. Now, I know a lot of these school districts have outsourced their substitute department to outside agencies, so be warned. If you do go that route, just know that they can, the schools will make you vulnerable. That's the word I'm trying to say. You're vulnerable because if you rub somebody the wrong way, they can call the substitute agency and tell them, hey, listen, do not bring this sub back. They can put you on the do not send list and they can have you fired. Okay? Well, usually it's mainly that's the principal's call, but, try to, befriend a lot of the teachers when you're subbing, okay? And read all the classroom management books you can read. That's another thing. When you are working on your program, if they have a classroom management course, please take it. If your school does not have it, read all the classroom management books you can get. The two I recommend by Harry Wong, the now deceased Harry Wong, it's called The First Days of School. Read that one. Fred Jones series, I think you should read. Also, go on YouTube and look at a bunch of classroom management videos. I think that will put you in good shape. Also, if you're going to sub, also sit in on real good teachers' classrooms, the ones that got elected Teacher of the Month, the one that's been there for years, the one that's been winning awards. You want to sit in on their classes as much as you can. Try to get as much knowledge as you can about this field. Because believe me, I'm going to tell you straight up, it's not a cakewalk. It's not. As a teacher for over a decade, I'm telling you, it's not a cakewalk. Okay? Now, if you are a white female and you want to become a teacher, you definitely will have a place. Okay? Because I'm going to be honest with you, this is a white female dominated field. Okay? Now, if you are a black man, you can write your own ticket pretty much. They need a lot of black male teachers. Okay? Come on in. Same thing go for black women. Okay? Now, if you have, let's say, a math license and special ed, people are going to gobble you up. You're going to be a very wanted item. You're going to be extremely marketable. But if you also have ELL, special ed, and math or science, you pretty much can write your own ticket. This goes for everybody. Now, the different levels, because I've taught at different levels. Middle school is hard. 1 minute, the students are adults, and the next minute, they're kids. And they're going through a lot of hormonal changes, so you got to be careful. Elementary school, if you have the patience for them and really work with them, and you like dealing with the different subjects, that's for you. High school, the kids are a lot more mature, more so like your juniors and your seniors. Your sophomores, they get a little more mature, but they still middle schoolish. Ninth grade is definitely middle schoolish, but I like ninth grade myself. I like freshmen, high school freshmen. I like teaching them, and I like teaching seniors, you know. So that's what you want, okay, with that. Now, like I said, you have to take your test, take your exams, complete the coursework, do the coursework, ask questions, talk to your professors, talk to other teachers, go observe different schools. I recommend that. Also, keep your options open. Keep your options open because there's going to be things that's changing. And right now, I'm speaking to you, it's December of 2024. We're getting ready to go into 2025. And we're getting ready to have a new president. President Trump is coming in. So, watch what they're going to be doing with the Department of Education. There's talks of it being shut down, but the federal government only gives 10% to these states anyway. So the states will, and the taxpayers pretty much fund the schools. So look at that, okay? But if you're brave enough, you want to go in this, make sure you have another option open. And I'm going to talk to you about that on part 2 of this video. But go through your programs. You can either go to the bachelor's level, post-baccalaureate, or master's level, okay? So that's what you're going to do. All right, take care. See you at part 2.